Hello, good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. How's it going?
And
It's Sunday today, isn't
hmm
it?
hmm
Actually, Sunday,
it's actual Sunday,
and
yes.
we're here to have a chat.
Yeah.
Um, just a little. I'm gonna be moving and tossing and turning and standing up and sitting down just because of
Maybe
some
you
pain in
should
my leg.
have. You should have it. Why don't you put it higher so you see how you feel when you stand into?
Yeah, I don't have anywhere to put it higher right now.
Oh,
I sold my couch that was out in this other room, so I'm going to be getting a desk for out there, so I
oh.
can have a little bit more of a setup, and then I'll be able to. I was looking at one that goes
Mm-hmm.
up and down as well too, so that'll be good.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is.
Anyway, enough about me and being an old man. What's going on?
Are you a fan of Tron at all? Movies? Were
I
you a
mean,
fan?
I don't really have a strong opinion on it either way, to be
Come on,
honest. I remember liking it as a kid. Yeah.
the coolness of Jeff Bridges. Come on, man! It just exudes that. Like
Yeah.
anyway, so I'm a huge fan. Well, I watched the original when I was already quite old, like older, of course, not when it was released.
Yeah.
I'm not that old. I mean, I am getting there, but not that old. I mean, somebody so funny. So many kids talk, like because I'm the mother of my son. Okay, and he's like, you know. So I said to Ruckus, like, so how do you think how old I am? You're very, very old. I was like, oh, thank you very much. Anyway, talking there. But anyway, so original movie loved it, but the sequel I absolutely adored. Okay, because of the Daft Punk soundtrack,
Mm-hmm.
elevated that movie to a sky of no return for me. I mean, because of that, them the movie is as good as it is. Of course, just Bridges is the one who which I went for, and I really like that idea of him, like they use the new technology just to see on the cinema, and you can clearly see how bad it was in that time. But just beginning, and they tried it, and it didn't look weird or ugly. At some points, was a little bit, but in some ways, it was fantastic. And now for I don't know what reason I saw like a smidget of a trailer of a new
Uh-huh.
one, and I'm not a
Yeah.
fan. Okay, I'm gonna tell you now. People hate me, whatever you want, but I'm not a fan of Jared Leto at all
Uh,
as an actor. I'm not sure about
mhm.
his musician part either. I'm not into that kind of style music as well. Uh,
Yeah.
but his acting is, me. I find
Yeah.
it. I don't know why he's there. Why but apparently he's the main dude they're gonna be like he's the operator, like the whatever, that a computer system, I don't know. Anyway, so but and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna watch it because Jeff Bridges is not gonna be there, and damn, Jeff Bridges is appearing there. I was like, what the fuck.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, so I'm gonna have to watch it just because like kind of in sequence. We had that one, love the second one, of course, love the first one, love the second one, soundtrack wise and the movie wise, and then now this one doesn't seem anything entertaining, but it's apparently coming out in October, I think, if
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
correct. And another one which is like, I don't know why I'm seeing this, but maybe because something I pressed on my socials or anything, but Mortal Kombat, new movie coming out as well.
Oh yeah.
And I am a huge fan of Mortal Kombat. My husband isn't,
Hmm.
which is funny. Surprised that really surprises me because he's all about like fighting and stuff.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
actually Taekwondo black belt when he was
Oh,
doing it.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he is about ninjas and stuff. I did karate for like a month and then gave up afterwards because that was too much
Yeah.
for me. But I was such a fan of Mortal Kombat, and I was like, Mortal Kombat, that song, dun 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 dun, dun. It just
Hmm.
the screams in my head. So I'm kind of excited about that. The guy's name I blanking, who's the main guy, or at least not the main guy, but one of the actors, which I got kind of excited. Is I think he's an Australian, or am I blank? I'm going absolutely weird, but he's the one who is in this comic related movie, which is very kind of like fighting. I forgot the name of the comic book.
Yeah.
Not
No idea.
not Five Guys, but something. Anyway, he is the Judge Dredd actor, or recent Judge Dredd actor. Do you know who I'm talking
Okay.
about? Do you know?
I mean, I think I know who you're talking about. Yes, I can picture
So
him.
yeah, so he's there in Mortal Kombat, which is kind of weird because I don't know. But they have those Scorpio characters coming in, appearing, and it's like, oh, what are you talking about? That typical Mortal Kombat like, I don't want to go anywhere, and it's like, you have to fight for your life. And he's like
Right.
asking them a questions like, so Mortal Kombat, do you understand that those two words combinations? It's like, yeah, but you're joking, kind of thing. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's
Oh
so
yeah,
so
I see him here. I know who you're talking about. Yes.
so what's his name? Can you see him?
Oh,
Anyway, doesn't
I don't know. I don't see his name. I just see a
okay.
picture of him.
Anyway, so he's in another comic related TV show, which is quite popular, but I forgot the
Right.
name of it. It's written by Garth Ennis. That
Oh,
series.
okay. Oh, The Boys? Is he in The Boys?
Yes, The Boys. You see, five
Yeah.
boys,
Okay.
five guys.
Right, right, right.
So he's in The
Yes.
Boys. Yeah, that's the actor.
Okay.
So he's in The Boys, and he is in Tron, which I really liked. That not Tron, but Judge Dredd. I really like the way they.
Right.
And apparently, they making Judge Dredd movie as well. Apparently,
Oh yeah.
and are you a fan of Spaceballs? My husband is very excited. So
They're doing
Spaceball,
another one, aren't they? Yeah, I
yes.
know it. Yeah, yeah.
And Rick Moranis is coming back
Yeah, something like
from.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he's gonna reprise the role of the big ball guy or whatever.
Well, there you go. That's pretty
So,
good. Yeah.
so that's the only thing I'm like related of. I don't know why it kept appear those stuff like it's like so many news, but I'm kind of excited about those kind of things.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't yet watched Superman movie. We don't
I
logistically. We
went.
don't
Yeah, I went
where
the
to
other
put
day.
out.
I went the other day to see
No,
it
don't say it. No,
on
don't
Thursday. I went on Thursday. Don't say what.
don't spoil it.
Oh no, I wouldn't spoil it. No, no, no.
Is it
Yeah,
just do this or that? And
yeah. It's
I
this.
know. Oh
It's kind of
boy.
what I. It's what I expected. I heard a lot of people talking it up and stuff, and I can
Yeah.
see why. I can
Mhm.
totally see why. I just thought it was meh. It was okay. I mean, I'm
Okay.
not a huge Superman fan. I don't
Mm.
have like I love the kid as a movie. Don't get me, or I love the movie as a
Yeah.
kid, but it's not something that had an impact on my life like it did with a lot of people.
Oh
Again,
really?
loved it. I remember seeing it, but it
Mm-hmm.
didn't really stick with me because I just not a real big fan of the Superman character. And
Mm-hmm.
this one had some moments. It just gets a little boring. Like it's one of those things where I
Oh.
can see why people don't want politics in movies and stuff like this. This was a movie where I could understand that. It was just a
Oh.
little too
Too
much, and
much?
the Elon Musk character that was Lex Luthor was a little
Oh.
dull and stuff like that. It was a little like, I mean, some of that is low hanging fruit to be going off after, in my opinion, because we all know that they're fucking morons. So it just felt like a little low hanging fruit to go after, where it's like,
Mm.
I mean, you can talk about the topic. There was a couple of neat twists in it, but yeah, I mean that we'll talk about once you've seen it.
I have logistically we don't know how to get like are we taking it's like so do you think have you seen kids in the theater or is it too much for kids to watch?
I saw it in the theater on IMAX,
Yeah. Oh, big one. Okay. Big
the
screens.
big one. I
Yeah.
don't think it's too much for kids, honestly. I don't remember there being like brutal violence or anything. There was a lot of violence hinted at, and of course, Superman gets in a couple of fights, but it's different when it's Superman getting in
Hinted.
fights. You know, he's indestructible, right? So,
Yeah.
but I
Oh.
don't remember there's anything there that kids I think would be scared of or anything. I don't think so.
I think my son is too young still, though. He's 7, and they say it's like 12 in here, age
Oh, really? Okay.
from 12. So, and we are rather debating because not only that. Okay, first thing, I don't think it's scary, but I think my son will be bored. To be
Yeah.
quite honest, because he's not into Superman yet. Oh, like happily,
And
it's
there is a lot of talking as well too. So
well.
yeah,
That's the thing. That's the
he might be
problem.
bored. There's some
Yeah,
action, but
yeah.
it's not wall to wall action. There's some
Okay
good
then.
kind of
Mm.
there's one funny bit that I got kind of a kick out of because it references like the early days of DC Comics, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
but
So
that
you
was in the background, and yeah, it was a nice little moment. But yeah,
no. Okay.
yeah.
So no. So no, that's the problem that because of the child, and we don't have really anybody, like people we don't really know enough for them to be with my son anyway. And some people I know I don't really want to burden them too much, to be honest. So we
Mhm.
might just end up. I hate going by myself to cinema, but if that's what's gonna have to
Oh man, I
happen.
love it. It's the greatest. I used to do that for my birthday all the time. On my birthday, I'd go out, have a burger, and go see a movie.
Today's my
And my
mom's
wife would
birthday,
always be
actually.
like, why don't you want it? No, it's my birthday. I want to do what I want to do. And what I want to do is not fucking hang out with anybody and go see a movie.
Yeah,
You know, it's my day. This is
yeah.
me.
My
Not
mom's
having a
birth.
party for the rest of you. I don't want a party
Yeah, my mom's birthday is actually today, so she's the 20th.
today.
Yeah, so she's the
My wife's
20th.
is in 4 days.
Yeah, wow, really? So,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Happy
I
birthday
have
to your
my.
mom.
Oh yeah. Anyway, she's not gonna watch this, but I already told her, so she's well aware of it.
Yeah.
But she's the 20th, so I'm January 20th. You the 20th of May.
I'm April 20th. Yeah.
I keep on mixing.
4/20.
Why do I always think you're May? I keep saying that. But anyway,
Yeah, yeah,
20th.
yeah.
So my mom is 20th of July, so it's all the 20th.
Yeah, crazy.
Anyway, side note. Did you watch anything like interesting?
I didn't. It's been a really busy week, so I haven't,
Okay.
like, I just started reading stuff last night kind of thing, and then
Oh,
today. I
yeah.
just haven't had much of a chance to do much of anything. But I
Honestly,
did read stuff though. Like I read a good chunk of stuff to talk
I
about.
honestly have weren't able to like insert the comics into like days. Like even though I had time, but I was busy with other things, and time was just flying away from me. And I was like, oh, I
Mhm.
kind of like. So in the evenings, I kind of read some of it, but I usually read that ginormous omnibus. What the amount of the Green Lantern. I keep on doing it. I even do the drawing video I have because of the reading Green Lantern stuff. But I didn't really read, and I didn't receive any of my pullers because I have like 2 books, and I was like, I'm not gonna
Right.
spend a fortune on the sending to me, and just for the like couple of books, I'm waiting a bit more
Yeah.
because it's much easier to just get a chunk and you know what you have and how much you have to pay for it anyway.
Yeah, totally.
What did I watch? I was watching quite a few things, but one that sticks. We started watching Star Trek. Yeah, well, look at that cover, man. Nice.
It's the Kevin Eastman one. Sorry, just when you're talking about new comics. I haven't read it yet, but I just picked it up the other day. So
Yeah, I'm
excited to
looking.
see the
Yeah, I'm looking
newest
forward.
issue out. I
Yeah,
can't wait.
I'm looking forward to reading it. But I just like, I had one book that the turtle book came out. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna just ask for turtle book. I was like waiting when maybe
Yeah.
Usagi will come out, and I really can't resist when Usagi and
Get a
turtles
few at
in the
once.
same. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to reading that. So oh yeah, Star Trek. So we started watching because Star Trek New Worlds, which we like watching, came out with new season, but we realized we haven't actually watched season 2, so we're watching
Oh
that.
yeah.
And funny enough, oh nice. Are you picking up your
Hello,
comic?
Tim. How you doing? Driving to the store. Are you driving to the comic store by any
Yeah,
chance?
that's what we're
Or are you
wondering.
going to get things that everybody likes? Like, I don't know, stupid things like food and things like that.
So we're starting to watch, like getting caught up to that. It took them 2 years to produce season 3, so that's
Right.
kind of interesting. And they're saying that they're gonna cancel after that because apparently Paramount is doing all the cancellations and shit like that. So that's very cool. It's very nice. Star Trek is such a comfort thing as well.
Mhm.
But one surprising show we're watching is called Stick. So
Okay.
it's a Apple TV show. It's about a pro golfer
Oh, okay.
and who is retired. Well, kind of like he's not pro golf anymore because he lost it, and then we start to unravel the information. So it's very old school way of doing TV shows. It's like feels like it's not like nowadays. It's like more like what you remember you used to watch in the 90s or in something like that. And it's
Yep.
a guy with that funky nose. What is his name now? What the hell? Zoolander guy, blonde dude. What's his name?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The
The
funny nose
brothers,
looks
one of the
like,
brothers. Yeah, I know who
yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. One of the
So
coke heads.
yeah. So he's the one who's a main character there.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's interesting that him being in TV shows like now bigger, like those bigger used to be big stars are doing TV shows now.
Yeah.
Um,
Owen Wilson.
Owen
Or
was there.
Jarelli, hello.
Thank you for
Is this an
sure.
intimidating pose?
Oh no.
Just leaning into the okay, good, because this feels
No.
better actually.
I
I
know.
feel like it looks
If you're comfortable, I don't give a
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
bananas
I'm comfy.
what
This is
was
pretty good
happening.
actually.
So it's actually really interesting to watch. It's the way it's set up. It's really easy watching show. Nothing to gonna blow your socks off. But what it feels like it great is that it's just like it feels like old school TV show you're watching. So it's really
Yeah.
nice actually. So whatever you 90s kind of like or 80s even kind of to a point. Okay. but it's kind of like, so he's completely broke. He's been divorcing his wife for 7 years. They have a history of a loss. I'm not gonna like fully blow
Hmm.
your the whole script out, but so he is he sees this kid in a driving range because he's like a kind of like helping, so he makes money as much as he probably can. And then he hears this whack of the thing, the stick in the ball, whatever. I'm not golf terminology aware.
Yeah.
So, and he's like, what is that? You know, like he understands where is the good thing. So he goes, talks to this kid, and he's like about 15-year-old kid who's been playing golf quite a lot, but his dad basically mentally screwed him over. And he's like, no, I'm
Hmm.
not doing any golf. What you talking about? So, and somehow he ends up spending $100,000 on to give to the mother in order for
Yeah.
him to take that kid out and in the tournaments and see what's going to happen, because he sees that there's potential in this kid, and that's where the story starts from. So it's really good. I mean, as I say, it's very easygoing TV show. Not, you know, like nothing blows your socks off, as I say, but it's nice and refreshing to watch without,
Yeah.
because you know they're not going to do anything crazy about it. There's a story, you following those stories, and no expectations. And honestly, it's most enjoyable TV show I've watched in a long time. To be honest.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, so one thing
Yeah.
is
Cool.
worth saying about.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched anything at all other than that Superman. That was it.
Oh, that's quite a big thing. I couldn't catch on that one.
I
Okay.
mean, yeah, it was nice to go to the theater, especially in the afternoon. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep shifting around for the entire chat and just moving. Let's see if this works. Oh, that's all right, actually. Okay, feet up. Yeah, this might be a shorter one just because it's tough
Yeah.
sitting this long right now.
Okay. Do
Um,
you want me
what's
to
that? Sorry?
do you want me kickstart talking about comics?
Yeah, get in there, do it. I'm gonna
Okay.
make you big so I can
Yeah, you
relax
can,
some more.
you can keep on moving yourself.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I finally read this. It's on Lonely at the Center of the Earth by Zoe Thorogood. So
Huh.
she has done a comic book. Hey, Donald Rex.
Hello, Donald
Um,
Rex.
so she has done the story about the Billy. I'm not sure. I haven't read. I don't think I've read the Billy stories of her, but I knew that this is gonna be kind of triggering because it talks about suicide throughout the book. It's a tipsy-turvy storyline, but I am amazed by capabilities of the Zoe Thurgood, what she's able to put that on the screen, on the piece on the piece of paper, not on the screen. So this is the lady in question.
Oh yeah.
She's a UK-based comic book artist.
Oh, that's
She
cool.
she has popularity because of that Billy story, and then she kind of like is being called as a potential new blood for comic books creations and stuff like that. So this book goes through a lot of stuff mentally. I really like this character, by the way. She created it. It looks almost feels like
Hmm.
Miyazaki-ish type of the creature, but it's I could
Yeah,
every
that
single
no
time
face from Spirited Away.
yeah, every time I see it is great. So she's basically saying to you at the beginning from the book, this is book not supposed to be out because this is all the crap from my head down on a piece of paper. And while she's doing this book, she's doing the other book, the Billy book, and she
Hmm.
basically tells her the origin kind of story, and then she kind of talks to herself in the third person because she doesn't actually know how to portray this information. She has so much in her head. She's always struggled mentally. Her family has mental problems, so she kind of inherited that. Her mom went through depression before she gave birth to her. So it's kind of like it's not something like not easy reading, to be quite honest with you, but it's fascinating. The more I looked through because she has like talking to herself and stuff. Oh yeah, she did in Rain, which I really would like to find that. She done it in when is it? Is it Rain like individual issues came out? I don't remember that. She's mentioning this in this book. Anyway, so her it's like it's blasted of all sorts of emotions, and each emotional kind of part of her has different way of drawing herself. She's very open to everything what she's spilling out. She keeps telling that she has worms in her brain, and the worms are like crawling around the body, which kind of freaks me out because you know me, and I'm like all suggestive words. Like that's why I don't really do any other manga, that Scary Guys manga, because of those
So yeah.
spiral stuff and things. So this is my favorite character. He looks freaky as hell, but anyway. So this thing been everywhere when it came out, and I always have wanted to read. Of course, I had to kind of cheaped out, and I was waiting until the library got hold of it, and then it did. So finally, I got hold of it, and it took me about a week before I actually attempted reading this, because I knew the subject matter. Okay, I'm kind of like I think I spoke that quite clearly everywhere, that I had the medical depression. Like I had depression myself twice in my life, so it's not easy, and I had suicidal thoughts as well. So when you read something similar to what other people experiencing, you kind of understand the brain processes. It's not easy at all. I think it's makes it kind of like, maybe it's in a way helps you, because it does, like gives you say that it's not always only you who has to go through it. There are lots of people struggling from like a get-go, really. So her first suicidal thought was when she was 14. Well, at least she's mentioning that. She said she kept saying, and here she keeps saying that she shouldn't be existing. She has these demons in her head. Her family's relationship with her is quite strained because of that also. But as I say, it's really interesting how she dissects this, and it just gives you a little bit of a mess of the book. But if you're continuously following, it kind of makes more sense. You understand it, like graphically, she's really well thought out. I mean, her art skills are amazing. I mean, she's consistent. Her emotional portrayals is very good. She's in here. This is like a crazy thing. She was working in this chicken factory where she basically, her job was to pick up dead chickens, because otherwise the other chickens would cannibalize. Yeah, I can't say it.
Cannibalize.
There you go. Thank you. So you can say that. But anyway, so this is kind of interesting. Then she has this other imaginary characters coming into head. It's fantastic, to be honest, to experience somebody else's things. What happens. I don't think the subject matter is as easy as I say, but what I really also like, all the subjects and things she's using, like animals, to kind of portray the information. Oh, that's the book. So the impending blindness of Billy Scott. Well, that's where basically her fame came from.
Mm-hmm.
And then she did this book, and then she did Rain as well for Image comic books and stuff like that. So yeah, so she's really afraid of people. She's telling about how she had to go to conventions, and when she gone to the conventions, she felt like she can't talk to people because she doesn't really know small talk, like that kind of thing. So it's a fascinating thing. So it's more like black and white, and then it goes in color. It's a bit of a mishmash, but it's great. Honestly, it tells you thoroughly the story throughout, and I really wanted to read. I want to read more of that, like Rain would be something else I would like to read. She actually even mentions this in here, the Rain work while she's typing, and this kind of stylistic things she's creating is great.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So Zoe Thorogood, it's a Lonely at the Center of the Earth autobiographic novel.
Looks pretty sharp.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's Image comic release.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah.
So I bet the libraries would have it. I'm not sure how. It's kind of interesting subject matter. That's why it's adult section. This one, it says mature reading, biography, memoir, non-fiction, slice of life kind of story, which is. It seems like you're following her throughout. As I say, this character is fucking crazy, but I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, so it's nice to finally kind of. I read it now. I want more of her work. I checked her website. It's kind of empty. I'm not empty. I mean, it's, like hasn't been touched in a while. She used to have like auctions and things from her work, and it's been sold out, all of it. So she has the kind of people who wants to follow her. So it's kind of interesting to see. So yeah, very good. But library, thankfully for library, to get me that kind of things to reading. Kind of.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I went this week to a shop to try to get. I looked online. There was a marketplace guy selling volume 3 of the hardcover Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff, the Mirage stuff. So I
Mhm.
searched up online to see if there was any bookstores that had number 2. And I went to this one bookstore that said they had it in stock. Turns out they didn't. I'm
Shit.
glad I went anyway because I got Metal Hurlant, the newest, the
Oh, is
new
it?
release.
Okay.
So apparently they've already kind of talked about doing 3 issues.
Mhm.
And it's Humanoids that's doing this.
Oh, is it?
And it's so goddamn good. Forget like the new heavy metal issue was fun for sure.
Yeah.
The chunk that I've read, but this blows it out of the water.
Mhm.
This is so good. It is how many pages is it? I don't know. 270 pages, something like that. And
Yeah.
it's got all of the people you'd expect from like there's old and new, which is great. So you have like Jodorowsky, Kaza's in there, of course, Morbius is in there, of
Mhm.
course, Drie is in there. And then they've got a bunch of new artists as well too, or newer artists like Matthew Allison. Um, what the heck is his name? James Stocco is in here as well too, doing a sort of homage to Mobius in a bit of a way. So one of the things that makes this really good is the layout. So it starts off, you get kind of like an intro story that sort of
Mhm.
sets the scene for the rest of the book. And
Mhm.
it's this guy who's discovered this pillar that has the creators of Metal Hurlant listed on it. And
Oh.
he finds some old magazines to sit and read it,
Okay.
and then you kind of get into the book itself. So you get there's a whole bunch of write-ups. Fabrice Geiger, and then right away we get Drie right off the bat with a fucking amazing, like a beautifully visual
Uh-huh.
story here to start us off.
Right.
I mean, look at these pages. So I don't know if this is new or old. I have a feeling this is an older work, but I'm
Mhm.
not 100% sure.
Is
Look at
Julie
those.
still kicking? So he's still
Yeah,
alive?
he's still around. He sure is. Yeah, he's still
Okay.
alive.
Good.
And then we get armies, a
Mhm.
couple of other people that we've seen in heavy metal as well too. So,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like, there's some people in here that you'll see in Heavy Metal magazine, and that just kind of they're European artists that kind of maybe started in Metal Hurlant and
Mhm.
came over. Unfortunately, no Corbin in this one,
Mhm.
but I'm assuming that's because the rights are all tied up with Dark Horse.
Oh.
So it's all of these articles, the way that they use these little articles to tie everything together. They
Mhm.
tell you the history of the series and where it all came from, and then they
Mhm.
have some stories that sort of fall into place with that theme.
Yeah.
It's just really, really well done. It makes it so engaging to kind of sit and read. So there's a little section, of course, on Mobius,
Mhm.
and then we have I don't remember if this is the first story that he had in Metal Hurlant or what the this
Shit.
is man good, and it's these humans that are wandering a landscape as these creatures come stampeding towards them.
Mhm.
They end up knocking over the rock that he's on and start enveloping him, um, strip him bare, and then like the king comes to start to devour him and bites off his ear
Yeah.
and spits it out because it's disgusting and says, leave him be, and then they go riding off. So Mobius talks a little bit about this story, and right afterwards we get the James Stocco, which is similar-ish kind of premise, biting an ear off. It's just the human that ends up biting the ear off of a creature and spitting it out. So really
Shit.
just so well done. So much great art. Of course, Scoiton is in here. This is something that I have reprinted in a hardcover book. One of an amazing little story just for his use of the black and white. And then as these creatures, I guess, or these humans take off their armor, you
Mhm.
get the bits and pieces of flesh coming through, and it's very, very overly rendered and colored, and it just looks beautiful. It's an amazing contrast as they start taking off this armor because they can't keep their hands off of each other. And of course, in this world, it's a disastrous thing to do. So they get devoured by the insects. So I'm about, I don't know, maybe a quarter of the way through it, maybe a third of the way through it, and
Mhm.
I'm really, really loving it. This is honestly every single page. You end up just getting sucked into every single page and reading it in kind of little chunks. I've read it in kind of 2 sittings so far to get to this point. I'm really impressed. And if they're going to keep on with this, I can't wait to see what's going to happen. This was a Kickstarter thing. And they have all the names of the backers that go on for like a couple of pages at the back here in this very small text. But I think as a backer, you could get the first 3 issues. I'll just show you some samples. Here's some Matthew Allison. You could get the first 3 issues, or you could just do the first one. There was all sorts of extras with it. I didn't know about it. And one of the things that this guy Rally Zero was saying was that most importantly, the backers got their versions first. They got their copies before it hit stores, which is important as a backer for sure. But man, highly recommended. This is one of the better reads of the year because of how just absolutely engaging it is, and it feels like it's really managed to grab onto that kind of what made heavy metal and Metal Hurlant, I imagine, so good. Obviously, I've never read any Metal Hurlant, but it just captures what made it so good and presents you with a whole litany of new artists that I've never heard of that really fit, even though the art style for most of them, they do stand out a little bit for sure. I think the ones that I've read so far really fit the themes of the book though. So yeah, super impressed with this one. Issue number 1, I don't know if they were doing it quarterly or what the deal was, or if it's 2 issues here. I don't really know. And I don't know if each of them are going to be this thick either. If it is, that would be amazing, but we'll see, I guess, as it starts coming out.
I'm been looking while you're talking to see if there is, and this keep saying you only US editions, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if they have it published or not. Yeah. So I looked it up to see where I could buy it. Like my website I usually buy, it's out of stock, so they don't usually have it. And then I looked it up everywhere else, and they kept popping up all this kind of like French edition books instead of like that you're showing up. So I'm not sure why.
Yeah, this was the only copy in the bookstore. There was only the 1 copy. So I don't know how much distribution it got outside the Kickstarter or what that looked like, but I'm glad I stumbled across it. I'd seen it online and it looked impressive, but as soon as I picked it up, it was an automatic sale. Didn't even have to think about it twice.
Especially if it's if it's those French editions, which like you say, we didn't have a chance to read. So great. I show you something I'm not really kind of like, I've not even finished, but I'm not really kind of impressed with so far. It's not clicking with me, the story. What's the furthest place from here? Volume 1 by Boss and Rosenberg. It starts really weird. Nice graphic design, first of all. It starts with the dude like losing his tooth, I think, and he's bleeding. And then we don't really realize what's happening, but then you end up having, like, if you're supposed to be kids, you don't have adults next to them, something happened in the world. It doesn't really much explain. They're having this conversation, then you realize the chick who you're talking together with, she's pregnant. So how old is she to be pregnant? And because it's supposed to be kind of really young, teenage kind of type of the characters. And they're all divided in these groups where they kind of hide in their own kind of neighborhoods, and all other neighborhoods kind of fight between each other. And they all get really angry if you, for example, have an adult in your group. So I'm not sure really what it is. I clearly haven't finished this book, but it's just something not like, I like graphically and everything presentingly is interesting to see that, like that very bold black colors used, heavy-handed when it comes to inking styles and stuff like that, but the story is not moving fast enough for me. There's interesting characters like these people who's wearing pig's mask. They are another neighborhood who they're basically feuding against each other, and they just going at each other like or anything like baseball bats, chains, and stuff like that. And then the only part of the mystery is this dude appears out of nowhere after many kind of years, it seems to be, and he's on a dying bed, but then somehow he disappears because there's these two creatures coming up, and they don't have yet explains why. Maybe I wasn't in like thorough good mood to read. Like sometimes you need to read in the right time for some books. And if you're not in a really good headspace, it doesn't really click for you. And sometimes maybe you can miss out. So I'll leave this alone for a bit and see if I feel like I want to pick it up and finish it off. It's a library book, so I'm not really, overly sensitive if I don't go for it. But just something is not clicking, like the story is not grabbing me enough. I'll show you another story which involves kids, which wasn't the most easiest read to do, but I'll talk about later and you'll understand why. So where they end up, basically they're losing their place where they live, and that's a huge problem in this world apparently. So they need space, otherwise they will be just picked out and killed apparently. And then they kind of like, I guess they're going to be on a search for a new space to go. But as I say, it's just, maybe I'm wrong and I should give more chance to it, but it's just not going for me. Like, I don't know what other people, I've heard people saying reading in singles is so they have like kind of up and down mixed reviews. But for me so far, it's just, like, okay, but I need more. And so I don't know if I would be able to read this in singles, because the one single issue, like let's say the amount I was reading, it's like it didn't give me anything. So I was like, kept reading, and I was like, okay, you need to kind of hurry up here because you keep just talking in between, and just one mystery of guy disappearing, apparently supposed to be death, and then still not unexplained, but it doesn't really give you much to go on with. Like it doesn't have enough, like, like attention to that thing, what's happening. And they're concentrating about bickering between neighborhoods. And that wasn't killing. Like, okay, I understand you bickering between each other, but why? Kind of give me more, like, so I can actually it will grab my attention. So honestly, it hasn't been long. Like I usually enjoy a lot of stuff I usually pick up. Like it actually keeps my attention forward. But this one in particular is like a drag. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
And I don't like that feeling.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Yeah, I don't like that feeling when I read comic books. I'm not saying it's maybe somebody else loving, but for me, when that happens, my brain automatically wanders. Okay, it starts to, I need to do this, cooking thing, all that. Like I need to prep my son for the last 1.5 days of school left for him. Story of my life. But yeah, so it's kind of like, it's a pity, but I don't really like this thing work because it looks great when it's art wise. But
some of the coloring looked pretty outstanding there at the beginning that you were showing. I think pretty cool.
It's interesting how they use those, as I said, those extremely bold lines. Like it's in your face bold. And especially with the printings of the books, I've noticed a lot of it lately. It's quite strikingly black. I think they always retouch the blacks. Apparently I heard also they're saying that the black ink is not black anymore as it used to be in the 80s or 70s. It's like feels like watered down, and people who actually now still inking like with the materials rather than using digital stuff, they're finding it quite hard to get that bold blackness of the colors. So they basically have to scan it, put it on the computer, kind of touch the blacks.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting, that part of the thing.
That's weird.
What?
The ink would change that much. Like it must. I wonder if it's a combination of the paper as well too. It's not absorbing it, or
no, it's just not black enough.
Yeah, crazy.
Like I follow quite a few comic artists who still traditionally work. Like Scott Young is using black inks and he loves these blacks. Then you have Terry Moore. So so he's using traditional inks, and he kept saying that he's not feeling that black. That was black, like there was moments.
Interesting.
So it's kind of interesting, intriguing part of that.
Yeah. They need to get the Japanese ink sticks and grind their own ink. Have you ever seen that? There's videos on YouTube of them making those ink sticks. It's pretty fantastic.
No, honestly, I could watch that. So I'm laughing because I couldn't believe that's what you can actually watch. But yeah, I would love to watch that kind of stuff because I think
so cool.
a lot of companies, like go through transitions of, like how much you sell, like the need of the market and stuff like that.
Hmm.
There's a lot of things now you have, yes, Japanese related, and lots
Yeah.
of inks we used to have. For example, like there used to be this famous Pilot ink. Apparently, the
Yeah.
company is not there anymore. Somebody's bought it over, and they reintroduced their own product, right? Say with the same name tag, and they're saying it's not bold enough, like the blackness not black enough.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because they're probably not doing the traditional ways, right? Like
Most
that.
likely, like Chinese watered down ink you get.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that's what I'm hearing they saying. But honestly, I can tell you what I like my, like when I draw, I don't buy cartridges anymore. I'm being green or earth,
Okay.
no more giving you that much. So I have refillable ink cartridges. So I do
Oh,
it
nice.
myself.
Yeah.
So this fountain pen I'll be using. So I have this syringe type
Yep. You
cartridge.
suck the ink into the chamber
Yeah,
or whatever.
it's a
Yeah.
very messy work. Like for example, I already messed my finger up,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's something I actually kind of like. It reminds me of. I hated those school days, but now I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Fountain pens and stuff like that. So I find it as like a traditional part of it,
There's a
and
total different feel to it for sure.
I found it quite difficult to find. For example, I was looking for non like waterproof ink, and there's not
Okay.
many of them around. To be honest, there's some specific companies who's producing it, and most of them are producing it in a cartridge format.
Okay.
And so in the bottle things, it's very expensive ink if you want to get it like quality wise. I'm stationary nut a little bit as well. So I like
Hmm.
my stationaries, and I cannot believe, so honestly, for a bottle of ink, it's no more than 50 mils, or whatever that, I don't know, the imperial things. But anyway, so it's kind of the size of this,
Yeah.
like £100. It's like, excuse
Oh,
me,
Jesus Christ.
a
Wow.
bottle of ink? Yeah, because it's special, like very nicely,
Yeah.
Yeah, people spend some ridiculous money. So I use actual companies of. I don't think it is waterproof, but I really like it's German. So this is German company's fountain pen I use. So German
Oh,
ink.
yeah.
But I finally
Yeah.
found it, and they are not like what they were £10 for this for 50
Huh.
milliliters. It's still quite a bit, but it's cheaper than buying cartridge format. So
Yeah, for
if
sure. Yeah.
you use it more, like I draw quite a lot. I mean, I've been doing quite a bit with that black and white, so it's quite
Hmm.
interesting. So I could digress. Honestly, this kind of conversation can go
Yeah, yeah.
for hours.
I found that video and sent it to you on Twitter. So
Oh, wonderful! I will
of
watch
them
it.
making it. Yeah.
Cool.
So I got a few to talk about because they're just very, very short. One I haven't finished reading yet, and the other two are minis. So I've got myself some underground comics.
Oh
One of my
yes.
shops got in a collection of undergrounds,
Oh, so
and
you.
many, many good stuff. But the highlight of the haul that I grabbed was Funny Aminals. It was a one shot by Robert Crumb and Art Spiegelman and Jay Lynch and
Oh
Justin Green, and I can't remember who else is in here. A couple of other people in here, but it's infamous because it is the first mouse
yes.
story, the first
Oh.
3-pager that he ever did for his what eventually became the mouse two
Mm-hmm.
books. I've read this before online, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really great. The first thing you notice is that his style is really different for this
Mm-hmm.
one. I kind of really like this cartoony style in this one. I love the style in the mouse books as well too, but
Yes.
there's something about this that's really great. So just a little short story, basically about the Warsaw Ghetto,
Mm.
um, and just kind of you can see what he's going to be doing with the rest of it. Uh, when like you get a good taste of what's coming up, especially now looking back. It does a good job of kind of encapsulating what he was going to try to tackle. So of course, we get R. Crumb with his big, sturdy women. This time they're
Mm.
just animals. Justin Green on the inside front cover. One of the surprises to me, there's Trots and Bonnie, which is in here. Sherry Flanagan. There was a collection that came out a couple of
Oh.
years ago that I ended up hunting down and buying. I love Trots and Bonnie. I think it's a funny strip. I think it was always in National Lampoon's.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And then there was a nice surprise here. Macmillan, what's his first name? I can't remember his first name. Macmillan, something Macmillan. Let's see, Mike Macmillan, maybe. Yeah, Michael Macmillan. So
Mhm.
I first discovered him from this comic called Terminal Comics, and I
Mhm.
love his style. I wasn't aware that he'd done much else because I'm pretty sure I had done a search for him in
Mhm.
the past, but I really like his style a lot. He was part of this Chicago group called the Harry Who, I think,
Mhm.
and they were kind of this art collective, and they had there was comics in their background, but it wasn't something that they specialized in. They were more into like painting and things like that. So it's cool to see his work in some of this stuff. So Toad from Bill Griffith, that guy who did that character Zippy, the
Mhm.
Pinhead. Yeah, so it's a solid little book, but I mean the big reason again is to get it is because of the mouse 3 pager.
So how
So
expensive this pleasure was?
this was $30. It cost me $30, which is
Okay.
cheap for this because I don't know. This is a 50-cent one. I think there was only one printing of it. Let's
Mhm.
see. Yeah, there was only one printing of this, and this is reader copy for sure because I've seen this go for a lot of money online. So when I saw the $30 price tag on it, I didn't hesitate. That seemed very reasonable.
Yeah.
And then the other two minis, which again don't have much to say about.
Mhm.
These also came from the same shop. So this is Zam, which
Mhm.
was a Zap Comics Jam comic book. So a bunch of the artists kind of doing comics together.
Look,
And it's what's that? Sorry.
the foot of the nose. That's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah,
That WW character, he has his nose is a foot.
yeah. Wonder Warthog. Yeah, yeah. So it's super fun. Just a tiny mini. You can just tell they were just
Oh
fucking
wow,
around and doing drawings together and
that's cool.
just creating these little strips. And most of the strips don't really go much of anywhere. The funniest one, I think, for me though, was this Wonder Warthog,
Yeah.
where he goes and takes a brief sojourn in outer space.
Yeah.
He goes to see this lecture about traveling through space is going to be impossible because of how long it'll take. He has
Uh-huh.
to sign into a book to get in.
Oh, looks
He goes, well, that's ridiculous. I'll show them. And because he's a superhero, he can travel at almost to the speed of light, which apparently is fast enough. So he ends up coming back to Earth
Mm-hmm.
to go back and kind of show him because he finds an alien planet and finds a skull on it.
Yeah.
He comes back to Earth to go back to this
Mhm.
same event, and he's been gone for
Oh no.
1,283 years, 11 months, and 4 days. Therefore, you owe us a bunch of money, which of
Yeah.
course he can't afford.
Yeah.
And then, so it has this nice little story. And then the end is the moral of the story is never sign your real name to anything, which I got a kick out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a fun little book. Um, Spain Rodriguez in here as well too. So,
Wow.
but again, it's underground comics, so there's some dirtiness in it for sure.
Ah, Sese. Hold your
And then
dirty
Robert
minds.
Williams and people at the back too,
Oh, look,
Moscoso.
that's cool.
Yeah, nice, eh? Yeah,
Hmm. I like the art. I mean, it's fascinating to
yeah,
see that. Just like
it's
for kicks,
beautiful.
for the shits and giggles, and they make such a artwork. It's like wow. I mean,
Yeah, and then the other one I got, which I won't show you too much, because this is S. Clay Wilson, his mini comic called Pork. S. Clay Wilson is probably one of the
oh,
dirtiest, sicker men
I
in
can
this whole
see
underground comic scene. So I won't show you too much, but I always find his
it.
stuff just ridiculously entertaining because it's so over the top,
Oh
and
my
it's
god.
filled with dicks, and it's filled with nudity, and it's filled with drugs and murder and fucking, and it's so completely over the top that
Yeah.
I love his style too. His style of art is good. So in this first story, these women that they've got on board take over the ship. They start a mutiny, and
Furthest.
they then torment and torture the men that are on it with their sexual prowess, etc., etc. So
Yeah.
and then you get some mini 2 page spreads
Oh my
from
god.
S. Clay. He was just a sick, dirty old man. But so this was a really cool one to find. And these were like $5 each or something. So
Yeah.
and that's
It's
that's
like
the just the
it's like
very tip of the iceberg for the undergrounds, I found.
it's like a proper underground there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You definitely
Well,
wouldn't
and something
display
about
that.
having it in this mini format makes
Yeah.
it feel even more dirty. It's not just a comic. It's like this is something like, like Tijuana Bibles or something like that, right? It feels
Yeah.
like it's extra. Oh, they had printed it small and they
Yeah.
hid it, and it really feels like this really subversive thing. But yeah, so cool to find that stuff.
So I don't know what's happened to my brain, but I remembered what I actually watched. So I watched Iron Heart. Iron
Oh yeah,
Heart. So
right.
I heard mixed feelings from people about it. I found it really entertaining as a comic
Yeah,
fan. It clicked all the buttons, whatever like no big expectations. It's a superhero type of a kind of origin slash, like kind of thing for her. The way she was trying to basically get like do stuff and her origin story and how she came to be, what she was
yeah.
doing. And to my surprise, to be honest, I don't know if it's a spoiler or you don't know about it, but Mephisto appears in that TV show.
Oh yeah.
And I wasn't aware of that because I don't, like I don't watch previews or trailers. Like I said to you,
Hmm.
it's randomly appears to me when I watch some couple of seconds and I scroll through because my opinion, trailers are just spoilers of the movie completely because it's
Right.
almost tells you the whole story of the movie. So what's the
A
point
lot of
going to what?
trailers, yeah, they do a
You know what I
horrible
mean?
job. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I have not watched any information, so I was watching it. It's like this is weird. So and I could, like when you're watching and the kind of like you're aware of the character because why I'm surprised because Silver Surfer with Fantastic Four will come out. In my opinion, I know that they're going to do Galactus and all that because they showed all that. You don't have
Yeah.
to watch the trailers. There's lots of shit going on everywhere. Okay, so you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
find information about that everywhere. But I wasn't like I don't know if they have managed to like translate that correctly to people before the show came out. But I think with him appearing on that show, it actually made more curious and interesting because the
Yeah.
storyline made more sense afterwards. You realizing who is the bad guy because you have this dude which I have never realized that Marvel comic books had. It's called the Hood, so it's basically Red Riding Hood's hood wearing guy,
Okay.
and he has guns, right?
Huh.
And it's just like I know apparently it's a comic book character. It's a recent day comic book character, I presume,
Right.
which I have not read for I don't know how long now. The Marvel comic books in continuity, what is coming out now. So anyway, so he's this wielding gun guy, and he has this special powers, almost like that Angelina Jolie movie with the bullets when she can spin them and they can kind of rotate. But anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
to that kind of extent his powers are.
Hmm.
And it's in there. It's like, what the hell? Who is this douchebag, basically? And then you realize that Mephisto is behind it. He's the one who's giving you the hood. He's the one who's basically telling you your wildest wishes and blah blah blah. And
Hmm.
if that makes any like an excitement or anything, but Sasha Bowen, whatever that guy, he's the acting
Oh,
Mephisto.
Sacha Baron Cohen, that
Yeah,
fucking guy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not really thrilled about him. I find him
Yeah.
very creepy, to be honest. Since he's done all those other things he's doing, I
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
he's absolutely uncomfortable, creepy guy. But he's the one who's doing Mephisto. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, it's entertaining. She has this armor. She's genius. Another like level of who she doesn't know what to do with her brain because she doesn't have finances. So she's basically being kicked out of the university because she's doing something which they think it's not her own idea because she's basically doing the Iron Man suit. And they're thinking that she's kind of like doing, like you have such a big brain while doing something more creative kind of thing.
Hmm.
And the only thing she's fascinated by is by Iron Suit. And then she's creating the suit, blah blah blah, and its story rolls from there. But I enjoyed it. I wanted to know what's going to happen next because the way it ends doesn't end to a point where you think like, oh, happy endings. Not really. Not. I don't think it's a happy ending whatsoever. So if they will have a chance of making a new one, because I heard like mixed feelings. I mean, they rating this movie really low. The TV show to me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, but I don't
I
know
mean,
why
I feel
people
like
are.
everybody rates these shows low these days, right? So
I think people are like
people are burnt out.
yeah, I think so. And if you're a comic fan, I think that you'll find little tidbits information, the characters who we're talking about, the situations when things happened, is all there, kind of thing. So I just wanted to mention, I really liked it. I was like, I want to watch more. So that's how much
Mhm.
as I say,
Right.
it's not groundbreaking TV show, but it's extremely entertaining as a comic book reader. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it ticks all the boxes for me in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
2 cents of that. Oh, anyway, so the book of not so like it's she becomes this chick who's doing illustrations. She becomes one of my favorites. So Amy DeYoung,
Ooh, I saw that in the store the other day. Yeah.
William Golding, Lord of Flies graphic novel adapted and illustrated by Amy DeYoung. So
Mm-hmm.
this lady, Amy DeYoung, she's fantastic. I read her City of Dust, I think is
Oh
the book
yeah.
I talked to you about as well. I picked it
Yep.
up. I saw her name. The first thing I was like, and I couldn't believe that our library had it, to be honest, because it's just like I've seen it in the comic book like shops recently as well. When is the production line? Of course, it doesn't say in the first pages. Why are you not saying in the first pages? In the back, right? No. It doesn't say when it was produced. It's surprisingly enough, this is the original producer of William Golding's graphic novel. Not
Mm-hmm.
graphic novel, the book, Lord of
The
the
book.
Flies.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Faber is Polish, I think. Is it Polish? Where did I get the information? I can't find it now. Oh, there
My
you go.
brother and my son were just talking about the original novel recently because they both my son read it a while ago. My
Yeah,
brother just reread it again recently.
yeah. So it's printed in Dimograph, Poland.
Oh yeah.
Faber by Faber Limited, which is in London. First published in 2024. This book. I mean, this book particularly, not his
Mm-hmm.
William Golding's the book. Anyway, so honestly, love the woman. She has this really kind of like animating style, looks very innocent. It's great to tell the
Mm-hmm.
story, especially what's involved. So you're aware of the story, right? I'm not
Oh
gonna
yeah, for sure I am.
not
Absolutely. Yeah, I
teaching
read it
you
when
or
I was
not
a kid as
surprising
well
you
too.
because of that.
No, no.
So look at this. How
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's beautiful.
Absolutely fantastic. She's great. Kids' faces, the motions, the scenery, the colors of use. I was actually stopping and seeing the pages. I was like, I love every bit of it. I love the colors used, and like the way it was presented. And it starts with this one child running around, and this kind of something happened. I didn't think, like, honestly, Lord of the Flies has passed me as a book because I'm not a book reader. I'm well aware that it was a movie as well done, isn't it? And it's
Mm-hmm.
famous, kind of like famous. It had famous, but it's the elements of maybe scarcity, is like being scary, like scary. I wasn't into it, but
Mm-hmm.
I knew the name. It's plastered everywhere. Nobody I guess my mom has spoken to me about it, or somebody else has spoken to me about it. But I'm really glad I read it in this graphic format because I really like the story, the way it was portrayed in here as well. So the story is they had this huge plane crash, right? They landed in this island. The kids only left, no adults around, and they basically fend for yourself to survive. They have all sorts of ages, no more than 12, I think, the age group. And he's the boy which you see in picture at the beginning. He's the one who's basically one of the older kids. And then you have this guy in the glasses he's called Piggy. He doesn't want to be called
Uh-huh.
Piggy, but he ended up calling him Piggy. And basically they're having this conversation, and of course they slowly introduce you that there's more than two of them. There's a really big group of kids, and of course when you have such a big group of kids, they need leadership. So he decides to be the one who is going to gain kind of support that. But also we want leadership. You also have another guy who is spoiling the party in a way. So they're really small. Some of them look like 5 maximum age. It's crazy. Would you let your 5-year-old kid to be in a plane to travel somewhere? Anyway, because of me as a mother, I probably wouldn't let them be leaving my side because I'm such an overprotective mother. Anyway, so this group of hunters, they call themselves, but they acquire kids. They appear, and this guy in front of this, because he's wearing this hat with the badge saying, "I'm the one who's going to be in charge." But then they have this vote, which is kind of interesting part, and they decided the leader is the kid in blonde hair. I forgot the name. Sorry, so I'm not telling you that. The story gets from beautiful scenes to conversations of laughter to, like nightmares. You cannot feel like there's imminent problems where you're gonna endure, and how things
Yeah.
will
It's
escalate.
dark. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it gets darker. So when I was reading this book, and I was like talking to my husband, and he's like, "Oh my god, why? Oh, you're reading Lord of the Flies?" And he said,
Yeah.
I couldn't watch it because of it. It's kids, okay? It's kids
Yeah.
related. It's so young, and what happens to them. This is the most beautiful
Look at that, man. That's so
page.
nice.
Absolutely fantastic. Amy DeYoung. I mean, she's fantastic creator. And yeah, so everything seems to be okay. This nightmares, and then beast, and like kids with tiny ones, kind of like the explorer in the islands, finding out that they actually completely out of anything. There's nobody, there's no villages, so they are the like kind of like the ones going to be in charge of this. So, and then the things escalates, escalates to a point of like, I cannot believe how quickly the escalation happened. It's actually quite nice to see it happens right in the more than middle of the book is right, like it's like almost finished, and then escalations. Oh, that's when like really bad thing. So it starts to go dark when they start killing the pig. Okay.
Yeah, poor piggy.
Yeah, poor piggy. And so this is they celebrating it because they did the first kill. This guy who is in charge of the hunters, he's becoming more and more kind of in like power hungry kind of thing. He's becoming like lust for blood, in also because maybe like hunger, nobody's there in charge. He's the oldest one, he likes to wield the weapons, and he's the one who's feeding them. He's the alpha of the storyline, and there's this clash between two, and then the rift between two of them escalates to kind of split of the group. And it's just like, honestly, I've never felt like the kids could be this harsh to each other, but they have. And what he does, it's basically what surrounds the couple of deaths. And I honestly don't, it's just so sad, but it's so beautifully done. And it's really good to basically experience it in this format. The most saddest part is the way this kid dies. He is another of the older group, and he was the one who is like not really wanting to be part of the group. He kind of liked to wander around, find a place to lie down, have a snooze. And his name is Simon, at least one name I know. So Simon was the one who is basically kind of in between, kind of happy to direct kids in the right direction, help them when they needed it, but also happy to be staying away from the scene and kind of hide away with his own emotions. And he starts to seeing the Lord of the Flies, or the way it's portrayed of Lord of the Flies, because of the murder of the pig, and it shows you clearly in here on on the stick. And then when because all of this, the nightmares, and they thinking there's a monster in here. He kind of wanted to warn them because he was in the haze of sleeping, and he had an accident. He fall down, so he sees the Lord of Flies, and also what he sees is this dude, which lands on the island, a pilot, but he's dead. And because the kid's imagination, it escalates to a point, so he goes, warns them. While he does this, he's running towards them, and instead of like runs into a spears, so they basically stab him to death. And that's when the first death happens, and then more things happens after that. So lots of emotions and all of it. Beautifully told storyline. Really well executed by Amy DeYoung. I really liked it. I kind of like it was. I didn't want to put it away. That's the difference between book when you're reading and you're not sure about the storyline, how much it's going forward. This one's, you have once again a fraction between kids, but it tells you so well. and it leads you towards something, because you have this moment where they start killing, and when they start eating the meats and stuff like that, like the being on the island for quite some time, the hair was growing, kind of like become like little animals rather than just innocent kids.
Hmm.
And she's really telling it all the way. It's just really well told, and her artwork is splendid, and I highly recommend to anybody. Just if you don't know sure about the book, go in the library, or not library, or go to the bookshop, check it out. How does it feel, this book? It's kind of interesting feel to this book. It's kind of like it has this feel like of gloss, but also like, I don't know how to explain to it, but it's really well done work. And
Hmm.
she has notes of the artists. She tells you that I could not believe that I was asked to tell the story. This is the story, one of the first things I read. I was very, very happy to do this, because it was one of my favorite books, which I was reading while at school. So she's like a passionate artist, wanting to do justice to the storyline, which has
Hmm.
been in print for forever. You know what I mean? So yeah, and it's interesting that there's some also backstory, a little bit telling about William Golding and where he come from, which Welsh, and blah 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 and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that's
really
cool.
highly recommend. One
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
really good reads. And Amy Down, I mean, whoever has experienced her artwork, I think would will be very happy with what she's done in this one.
Hmm.
And I finally have consumed Lord of the Flies, so I'm really happy with
Hmm.
myself. I mean, so I'm not a book. I don't do
Yeah,
book
right.
reading whatsoever. And I know why my son having so many problems now because of my
Yeah,
mom's
yeah.
laughing. No, he's like you because so I oh talking about my son is with my husband. They reading Bone together.
Oh, nice. That's amazing.
Mm. And it has to be. I have some of I realized I have in singles the original printing Bone in black and white,
Hmm.
but my son doesn't like black and white. He wants color.
Yeah, right.
And to my surprise, I found, I don't know why, maybe because I was typing on Google, archives.org has the whole thing in color.
Yes. Not surprised.
So, so
That's a
I'm,
great website.
yeah. So I have, because he's completely insisting he wants to have it in color. So I downloaded it from that. And now we be reading it slowly together. And
Oh,
even my husband's like, oh, this is a really good story. It's like, and my son is into it as well because he's so funny enough. I'm gonna talk now too much, but anyway,
yeah.
I bought Calvin Hobbes slipcase hardbook cover edition,
Hmm.
knowing before my son was born, by the way, knowing
Hmm.
I like Calvin a lot, okay, and knowing I wanted my son to read that. They read it all three of the volumes, and he insisted to go back to reread it.
Yeah, it's
So I
awesome.
was like, pat on my head, like I
Yeah, yeah.
foreseen this. So now I want insisting, like I want him to go for the Bone.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of a bit scared about those mouse people. He likes the dragon. He finds it hilarious the way it looks.
Yeah.
My also husband points to me. I know our son won't get it, but is some of the adults like kind of like raw or like things written in there, and he's of course sussing it out straight away. And it's like, don't
Yeah.
worry about it, just read the way it is,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, he's not gonna get it until
No,
for one
exactly.
last time.
Yeah.
And the story is well
It's
worth
for
your.
the parents.
Exactly. It's well worth it for you both to experience it. And he said it's really interesting to read it, and it's actually himself enjoying it. So at least
Oh
I'm
yeah,
making
it's
them
great.
both
Yeah.
read comic book, like in that format.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, it
very,
was so fun reading it with Lillian. I loved it.
yeah, it's a fantastic story.
Hmm.
Your
Well, and I
turn.
think for us it was the same thing as them. Is I hadn't read it either, so we were
Yeah,
reading it together for the first time, which was
that's
so
really
great.
cool.
Both of us having the same experience with it, you know.
Yeah, they're reading it like as a before sleep kind of stuff. My
Yeah,
my
cool.
son wants to be something to be read for him, and then Calvin Hobbes is absolutely depleted now. Even though we had this great beautiful hardcovers. He absolutely loves Calvin and Hobbes. He finds it
Yeah.
hilarious. We actually, to be honest, me and my husband look at each other. We honestly could have called Rockers Calvin because it's kind of almost the point. His
Yeah.
behavior is almost similar, and it's now because his speech is improving significantly. He talks back like the way you're not even. He's like he keeps that. Oh, you're killing me, mum. I was like, excuse me.
Yeah, yeah.
Am I killing you for what? No, you're killing me, woman. Like he told me woman as well once. It's like, excuse you. So it's hilarious. He's picking points from Calvin quite a bit. So
That's pretty funny.
yeah. Yeah, he has some
Um,
I can't tell you all of it, but he has the way he speaks is hilarious.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So I guess keeping with
yeah, go on.
the darkness that you've talked about,
Yes.
it's issue 2 of The Killer. This is
Oh.
Affairs of the State Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Killer I've been reading since I first discovered the first miniseries. They've
Yeah.
had I don't know how many miniseries now.
Yeah.
Archaea.
Uh-huh.
This is I wasn't crazy about Affairs of the State book 1.
Yes.
This one is so good. So there's a little bit of a mystery involved here. So he's a hired killer. This
Mm-hmm.
one he's doing he has this government contact. So
Yeah.
he's doing more political hits.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, the first guy that he kills, she
Mm-hmm.
has another contract for him. The first guy he kills, there's a mystery as to why this guy was even killed. The news has no idea, and even he starts talking about, I don't know why they went after him either. There was nothing that I could find when I was doing my research. So the second guy that he sent to kill, he starts to kind of dig in and follow him around. The guy's a golf player, so he learns how to play golf as well too, so he can kind of follow him onto the golf course. And he starts to find out that this guy's got a little bit of a private life where he goes to these swingers clubs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't tell you much more than that because he finds out more. That kind of is the crux of the rest of the story. So it's really this one. It's good. I'm really liking this one a lot, and they're doing so well with kind of like the pacing in these first 2 issues are outstanding. The art is always borderline. It's that European style, but not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot more simplistic, even though the backgrounds are kind of beautiful. It's
Fascinating.
not a style that instantly appeals to me, but because the story is so good, I kind of get into it a little bit more. So he's still plotting at this point. He's plotting how he's going to kill this second guy.
Mm-hmm.
So really, really good. I know Gore Vidal reads this as well too. But yeah, good to see that come out still. And then one that I almost missed because this was the only copy that was left in the comic shop.
Uh-huh.
And again, one I don't have much to say about. Daredevil Cold Day in Hell #2 has come out.
Hey.
And of course, seeing Elektra on the front there. So I don't know if this is going to be a 3-issue miniseries or what it is. This is Charles Soule and Steve McNiven. And this was a great second issue too. There's so much to love about this book.
Yeah.
I'm really curious where this is going to go. You get some just beautiful art in here, man. I love this old Daredevil, and there's the old. We see Punisher, we see Bullseye, and we see another character that I'm not sure who this woman is here. I don't know if she's a character from Marvel stuff. That's kind of where I'm a little lost with some of these things too. And this to me looks so much like Ashley Dust by Rick McCullum, one of my favorite artists there. There's a real
Mm-hmm.
quality of line work in there, but
Mm-hmm.
man, oh man, this is a good book. And I'm kind of bummed that this was the cover because when he gets into this fight, it's quite a reveal. When you see Elektra, it's that same thing that they've used for the cover. It's quite a reveal within the book, right? And
Yeah.
she comes in and just fucking kicks everybody's ass. And Matt, what the hell are you doing? What do you think you're doing? You're too old for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
She looks like she hasn't aged, so there's
Mm.
a little bit of a mystery there.
Yeah.
But really, really good book. I'm really loving this. Um, yeah, so that's all I'll say about it. Because again, I don't want to spoil too much because there are some other things that happen in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's brand spanking new or
So,
newish anyway. I'm not sure when it came out, but
so you cannot resist. You keep on picking up some Daredevil books anyway from Marvel.
I can't resist because I knew that this one was going to be. I had a good feeling about this one because of the art, right? Because of the
Yeah.
McNiven art, and that first issue was so fucking good that
Mhm.
it doesn't, like I'm gonna get them for sure. So, but yeah,
Yes.
the artwork, the advertisements for it looked top notch.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it's paying out.
So is it like ongoing, or is it just like a couple of issues?
I'm not sure how many issues. I don't know if it's 3, if it's 4, if it's 6. It's a mini series though.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
is it a £5 a pop or $5 a pop?
Um, More than likely. Oh no, this one. This is the second printing as well too. This was $6.99 US. Oh yeah, and it's
Oof.
2 of 3, so there's only 3 issues.
Oh boy, oh boy. 6 9. Oh my
Yeah, yeah,
God. So you're the
yeah.
problem that makes them put the price tag.
Well, I'm not a problem. I just want to read it. I think the thing, is that I only have a few books.
Yeah.
Unlike some people with a huge pull list, I can see why
Yeah.
that price tag would be daunting. But I
Yeah.
went in, I had nothing in my pull box, and this
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
on the shelf.
Makes sense.
So it's like then I'm spending $6.99 as opposed to $76.99 and getting
Mm.
4 books or whatever, right? So
Another thing I
yeah.
remembered about that Ironheart, there was a magic involved. So
Oh,
it
nice.
got me longing for Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
So, the new series, not new series, but new-ish series, which was written, I think, by Jason Aaron. And I think they had, I have it somewhere, but I'm not sure where it is. But he has this assistant called Zelma, right? You're aware of Doctor Strange's assistant, the female, like librarian kind of type
yeah,
of
yeah.
thing.
He's had yeah.
So she's in there in that TV show. She does
Oh,
magic,
okay.
and I was like, "Oof!" I was like,
That's
"That's
cool.
what it got me longing for Doctor Strange." I think that's why I kind of liked more show because of magic got involved, and she was doing all that kind of similar shaboom shabangs, like for
Hmm.
the Doctor Strange is using, and her mother. They have this like shop of like trinkets, but they use magic and they flip like almost like a Stranger Things type of the thing, and they flip it and they go to the hush hush magic world,
Yeah, yeah.
and they kind of like expose that stuff. So it's kind of intriguing in that sense. So I
That's
just,
cool.
because you talk Marvel, my brain, it seems to be catching up with me. It's very slow,
Well,
but
maybe we'll
I'm
try it
okay.
out tonight.
Have a look. Honestly, I
Yeah,
was very surprised. The element, it goes quite deep into a series before the magic appears,
right.
but she gets kind of like exposes the Mephisto part of it because they basically she's going to ask for help, and they didn't realize that their friends actually involved in magic.
Yeah,
And they show that garment because she basically cuts the garment of the Red Hood, and they start doing the like magic stuff, like find out where it's from. And the first thing they do there is like a magic thing, go away with the shit, we don't want to get involved in that kind of stuff. So they've already
yeah.
realized where that thing come from. And they mentioned Dormammu and
Oh,
Mephisto,
nice.
and Mephisto was laughing in their face. Dormammu, that douchebag. I'm not even involved
Yeah.
in that guy. So what? Mephisto is stronger than Dormammu then? Is
I
that's what?
mean, not that I'm aware, but who
Hmm.
knows? You
Hmm.
said it's Ironheart, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I just texted my daughter to see if she wants to watch it tonight. Check it out.
I think that would be good for you to have
Yeah,
something to watch together.
yeah.
Anyway, okay. So let me just see if this works. Let me to because I don't see you anymore in this little bit. So maybe I should. Anyway, share screen. So I want to share screen because of my tablet. Okay, there you go. Can you put it through?
Oh, nice. I'm just gonna turn off my camera. I'm still here though.
Okay. Yeah, you don't. They put it. Okay.
Oh, just so I can stand up
You.
and wave my ass around and stuff, basically. So yeah.
Yeah. So I got hold of you remember in the Comic Mart, I finally said to you that I got hold of a couple of issues of this. So this is
Yes.
run notoriously not printed. It's somebody okay on eBay asks for 20. So this is 27 issue run. It's a volume 2 run of DC Power Girl in DC world, whatever printing stuff. Somebody asked $250 for 27 issues
Yeah,
of
because the
this
boot
run.
windows probably, right?
No, it's because it hasn't been printed for us. So it came
Oh,
out 2009, this originally. And because of that, they had released one trade paperback, I think, or 2 of them for 27 issues, but they are so out of print, and like it's such a thing that people have it. And there's one cover really popular, not this one. Adam Hughes does the issue number 1 and another edition of this, and it's very popular, and apparently it's like you can go for quite a pretty money. So it's very difficult to get hold of it. So of course I had to kind of like, I wanted to read it, so I found the digitally issue 1 to kickstart what I have in the format. This is the cover of Adam Hughes, and it's very popular, and apparently it's kind of difficult.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, clearly you can see why. Yes.
Yeah.
So I started reading in digital format, and the way it starts, I like her because she is, Jesse, and I like the old school, the Justice Society of America. I was reading those 10 issues, which I absolutely love. So she actually first appeared in one of the All-Star comics. And then that's how the first appearance of her. And then she had this 4-issue run, and then never happened again until this Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin Grace, written by Amanda Connor's artwork. And of course, when I found out about Amanda Connor, I became such a fan of her art. So this was always on my looking book. And for the first time, after like a decade later, I finally found some actual issues in Comic Mart, but of course only a couple of them, not the 27 issue run, which I would have grabbed it no problem if that would be even possible. So the way it starts, she says like, well, she's from it happened the same origin story like Kal-El, and she this happened to the Krypton. She had to escape. They put her in the things, but then she comes out of it. She's all grown up, not like a baby, the way Superman did. And she is from Earth too, but somehow end up being on the Earth where the old superheroes are. So she's basically kind of like she's taking care of it, and the things that happens to her, some douchebags come down to Earth, and then funny enough, the bad guy is the same bad guy who I was reading about in that run of GSA. So Humanite is the bad guy. So I'll show you to you. He should be appearing here. Blah blah blah. Come on. Where? Oh, there you go. This is the bad guy. There you go.
Yeah, cool.
The gorilla guy. Yeah. The gorilla guy. So he's the one who's basically ultra humanite, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" Blah blah blah. So what he does, he decides to do in this issue in particularly, he steals the chunk of New York, lifts it in the air, and tells to her, "Give me your body, otherwise I'll drop this New York part of the chunk of Earth down to New York, and lots of things, catastrophe gonna happen." And she's like, "No, I'm not." You're like, "What are you talking about?" And then also it's basically in the backstory saying that she's this innovator, and she's having this company where they're doing some extra scientific things to help society, and that's how she's basically her alter ego it will be. And then in the background we have the main fight scene of him. Like, there you go. That's how he basically ends up picking it up and telling her, "I want your body because none of the human bodies is working for me." Okay, you can remove the stream because I'll show you actual comic book now.
Okay, hold on 1 sec.
If you can break that. There you go. Moi. And then I have issue 2 on the paper format.
Oh, sweet.
And then I was reading like that. So it's like kind of tipsy-turvy. And then we found out the backstory of Ultra Humanite and how he came to be, kind of an origin story of him, and he like trying to tell her like, "I need your body because I can't use human body. We can't take the transformation part of the brain." And she's impossible to kind of like destroy. Her body's very susceptible to all sorts of damages, and she should withstand this transformation. The only problem I think he has is that how to actually cut the body, because she's so strong, it's almost like cutting something which doesn't get damaged and stuff like that. And so while this happening, you also find out his backstory, how he came to be. Also, the JSA appears in it as well. They are there in New York fighting all these robots, which is landed as well as a distraction for him to get the things. So he used to be a child genius, and he was dying because his brain was growing to extend where his body couldn't take over anymore. So he's basically was weathering away, and they were doing experiments, of course, with animals, because that's what they do.
Yeah,
Looking at
yeah.
all sorts of options. So they're killing, and the people or the places where they're using it was telling them you have to stop it because it's inhumane, because the only thing you're doing is destroying lives. And then they decide to use this giant white gorilla and succeed in that time. And there is this gross moment, okay? So this lady who's helping assistant, she gets kind of like a proper aroused by his like gorilla's ability to do all this killing, and she's like, and you can see her face. Her intent is like, thank you very much. And he's like really surprised. Are you sure you want me with this horrible
Yeah, yeah.
face? And she's like, come with me into the tent, let's have some fun. It
Hilarious.
was kind of hilarious part of this one. and
That's
and of
bizarre.
course, yeah, they continue with the story. So that was like
Yeah.
this moment, like, really, DC, you can have that kind of moment in your comic books. But yeah, it was kind of like gross in the same time. So this is like a continuous story where he's basically managed to capture her, dangle into this contraption, but he doesn't realize that she has this breath like Superman does. Like she has everything what Superman does.
Right, right.
Superman doesn't have the window, which is shame.
Yeah. He doesn't have a dick window in his pants.
Oh, don't be that filth, okay? I don't think people would appreciate that kind of thing, no matter what kind of spanking underwear you can put it on. Anyway, so she's using this breath to basically completely destroy the elements, and they continue fighting. And she has the the X-ray visions, and then she has that like the fire coming from your eyes. And what she basically ends up having is destroying the ape to a point where he is completely like no skin or nothing. He's basically almost burnt to a crisp.
Huh.
But because she's being her, she's trying to help him, like, I know you're trying to kill me and all that stuff. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm useless now. This is it. You basically signed, sealed, and delivered, like I'm about to die here. But she says to him, no, I'm dealing with you the right way. And she takes him away somewhere. Oh, into the Blackgate prison. The only thing they didn't really explain what who's this lady. They basically so she captures him, but the way his ship, which is entangled that piece of land, uh, so she can't maneuver it properly. She can't use it because there's some safety words and stuff. And then you have this lady landing out of nowhere, and they don't really explain to you why. So this is a bit of a hiccup in the writing. I'm not really sure. Maybe I should have known from the history of DC comic books prior to that. But who is this chick in purple? No clue whatsoever. But she's the one who actually helps Power Girl to sort out the problems. And they managing to basically use both of their abilities to capture. She's making this entangled thing like a glove, like standing thing. Pedestal almost, and she manages to break all the lines so it lands in the right moment. But yeah, the explanation wasn't very amazing when it came to that chick. There's also quite a nice elements of like, because it's Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin Gray's writing is actually quite they have really quirky moments of writing, and I really like the way the Amanda Connor's work is. It's really beautiful, and I know why people are kind of like really big fans of her work. She the only thing what's maybe stopping her from being like flawless artist is that sometimes her people's faces are almost too similar to each other. She has this distinguished style, but anywhere else I can, she's really good at what she's doing. So I really thoroughly enjoy it, and I'm picking, right? This is like really picky. And this is the bad guys for the next issue will be great TV show, Green Lantern, the
really
animated series.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was awesome.
Yeah, one of the best ones. Anyway, so this is the three bad girls coming into Earth. I don't know who they are, what. I haven't read it yet, so I'm up to issue 3.
Yeah,
Really good,
cool.
really entertaining. Exactly what your superhero comic book is like. I honestly could read this girl. I think I would be more intrigued reading her rather than Superman because she
Yeah,
has everything, but she's a female, okay, right? And of course, I don't know why they need to have how that boob window came about. I don't know the backstory. I
yeah.
think
I
there
don't
is
know the
some sort of
backstory either.
backstory. I think Tim
I just
probably would.
applaud whoever created it. Good work.
Yeah, and I think maybe Tim would know. Maybe unfortunately would even know the backstory of this. But
Yeah.
great. I honestly could read it more. I don't know why she's not gaining popularity. I guess because she has the same powers as Superman, and there's a
Right.
Supergirl who is a bit more popular than than Power Girl as well. It doesn't help that she's maybe from Earth 2, not Earth
Yeah,
1,
yeah.
and that just convolutes the story even more. I never understood kind of those elements because, as I say, I was my reading of DC comic books is quite sporadic. It's not
Hmm.
in continuation. I never grew up with comic books, so I guess if I would be reading it continuously, I will be well aware of what's happening and blah blah blah. It's like the same thing with Marvel. 616, not 616. It's just like, ugh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what the, like what's the? It's just your excuse of writing some of the characters and pretend they're different continuations and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Anyway, I really like this. I don't know why I've
Yeah, cool.
been looking for this so much. So they were doing Jonah Hex in the same year as this one.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So Justin Gray and Jimmy Palmiotti. I don't know what happened to Justin Gray. I know Jimmy Palmiotti has been they something doing on their own thing. I think they're doing a lot of Kickstarters, as far as I know.
Hmm.
But I haven't heard about Justin Gray whatsoever in comic books. So I wonder if
Hmm.
he's continuously writing or not. But yeah,
Right.
2009 comic books. So there's a Bad Girl out of print, no, haven't been printed. A
Hmm.
lot of her original run. 2009 production also. 2009 Jonah Hex now finally is going to get people actually going to get collected editions. I think DC
Oh,
has
nice.
announced it recently. So finally people will be able to read Jonah Hex books, which written by both Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin Gray.
And
And
even
then
had
this
some Darwin
Power
Cook
Girl.
art in that run too, I think.
What the yes
Yeah,
he
and that
has
Jonah
done.
Hex one
I
here.
have it. I collected the. I finally managed to get hold of all the singles. It took
Nice.
me long, but not as long. This doesn't appear whatsoever in back issue bins. I
Right.
never see this. When I saw it, I was like, when I just grabbed whatever, and I only grabbed what there was 4 only issues available to pick. So in that sense, I kind of like but I didn't 27 issues just to collect, and I looked it up online. Like I said, $250 for 27
Yeah,
issues.
it's
It's like,
crazy, man.
excuse me? And then delivery price, of course, because it's outrageous, like £30. It's like,
Yeah.
I could buy like how many big collected editions and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, mm.
I'm gonna have to call it
Yeah.
for
I'm
now.
done
I've
as
got a
well. But
couple of
anyway,
things now. But,
I haven't read many more anyway, so we can call it.
did you get into any Rachel Rising?
Oh no, because I was waiting for you to tell me when you're gonna start reading. Are
I
you
started reading it today. Today was my first day. I've read the
okay?
first 3
You should.
before, but I started right from the beginning again. So I read
Yeah.
the first 4 issues in that omnibus, and the only thing I'll say about it right now is it's just as good the second time. Like
Yeah.
it's just amazing storytelling. I love
Uh-huh.
the flow of it.
Yeah.
His art is really great.
Yeah.
Like it's really nice stuff, man. I'm so glad I finally
So
found that book. Like
so
I honestly didn't know if I was gonna find it or if I was gonna have to order it, but I'm so glad I got the whole damn thing.
yeah. So if you're starting to read, I'm gonna start reading it as well then because
Yeah,
I have.
cool.
Yeah. So you can kick it, but
Okay.
we can say
Thanks
goodbye.
everybody. Howler Mouse, Forgerelli, Donald Rex. Nice to see you, and anybody who watches on the replay.
Yes.
Like and subscribe.
Click it.
Thanks
Click it.
very much,
Click.
everybody. We'll see you probably next weekend.
Hopefully.
Okay,
Bye.
laters.